On my mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Reckless Raiden, and we're back at it again with another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. I hope you guys are ready for a great one. We're going to talk about some stuff. As you can see in the title, we do have some things to talk about. Before we do that, we're going to go ahead and power right on through this. First and foremost, hit that like button on the way in. For those of you that are rocking out in the wolf pack, obviously we are bringing you the most up-to-date information from where we're at, tracking the moves that I'm making in the cryptocurrency space on this show. We have other shows where I am in the traditional financial space. And they're going to be taking the tone for the same tone of this episode moving forward, because there's got to be a prioritization. So while you're liking the button, if you've been here more than twice, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. It's down there by the like button down there below. And next to the subscribe button, there's actually a bell. Click on that and make sure to hit the notifications, and it'll have an option for all on. I promise not to flood your feed. Some of you are requesting that I flood your feed. I'm not that person. It's just I don't have the time for it. I am not I wouldn't say I'm quote unquote a content creator. I'm documenting a journey. You guys are along for the ride, and hopefully some of my faux pas and mistakes and successes, add some sort of value to your lives. Also, this is not financial advice. It's just some dude on YouTube. So let's get that clear. It's financial entertainment. You guys get to see me make or lose money. That's kind of fun, right? And yeah, let's go ahead and jump right on into it and get started. So first and foremost, hold up. I got to make micro ray. Where's the micro ray option? No, that's a no ray option. Micro ray, there he is. First and foremost, Bitcoin back up to 105,000. Now we are I don't know, dropping bombs on Iran. They're mad about it. They're not mad about it. Apparently they want to have peace talks. They fired some rockets, got out of their system, and now we're good to go again. I don't know. But what I do know is earlier today, I am recording Monday because I have things to do on Tuesday this week. So this is Monday, June 23rd. Yesterday, we apparently bombed Iran. They're mad about it. Apparently they shot some rockets back, whatever, got out of their system, and now they want to talk peace. Everybody's on the same peace accord. I don't even know what to say about that. It's both tragic, silly, waste of money, which is funny that we're not talking about that anymore. We're just wasting money now. Get a couple of people upset, get some strong tweets, and here we are. But it's not really about that. It's that Bitcoin's price today went down to $99,000, and everybody again was calling for Bitcoin to be over. And by the end, it's not even the end of the day. It's 8:18 p.m. my time. We're sitting at $105,099. So for those of you that sold at 99, good job. What dip are you buying back in on? Like that's my question. I don't know. I get a lot of people that I know are trading Bitcoin, which I think is probably the dumbest decision ever. That's like saying you bought Apple stock at $10 and sold it at $50. That's not the greatest look. Like, sure you did, but like, why would you sell it? The greatest time to sell it still hasn't come yet. So, or saying you got Netflix at $5 and sold it at $10. Saying you got Tesla at $50 and sold it at $80. Still haven't hit the best time to sell these things. And you're talking about the hardest currency on the face of the planet. and you bought it at $40,000 and you sold it at $99,000 and we're going to go to $1 million. Like that's insane. And I don't really have much to say about it. I'm very impatient with it. I do the huffing and puffing, the Michael Saylor huff and puff. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like it's literally speaking stupid to me, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because if it's going to $1 million, they're like, oh, well, are you buying now? Like I turn the spigot back on now. We're starting to get to a point to where hopefully we'll be able to roll more of this income towards, moving forward with buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. And people are like, oh, well, you could just wait for it to go back down. I'm like, go back down to what? Go back down to what? Like if I believe in my heart, and I do, that we're going to $1 million or zero, which means I'm either throwing my money away or we're going to $1 million. And if we're going to $1 million, then like, why am I planning to sell at 250 in hopes that it goes back down to a number that I can't predict? I mean, I wish I could have got a buy-in at 99. I just didn't. I wasn't even looking. I saw it hit 100 and I was like, oh, we're just going to be at 100 all day. And we got down to 99,000 and I wasn't paying attention because I'm working. I'm not sitting here looking at the computer screen all day. And, it is what it is. Like, I just don't understand people who trade the hardest asset on the planet. Like, that's to get back into dollars. Like, you're getting back into something that's inflating away your buying power. And there's nothing you can do about it. You have no control over it. And they can turn them off for you. They can turn your dollars off. They can seize your bank account. They can freeze it up. They freeze up all your stuff that's in their system. And that's what you want to sell your Bitcoin for. Because somebody dropped a bomb on a place that's nowhere near you. Okay. Well, I'll never be able to wrap my mind around it, but, different strokes for different folks, and you guys are going to do what you're going to do anyway. So Bitcoin's at $105,099. Bitcoin dominance is sitting at 62.2%, with ETH dominance at 8.65%, with gas fees at 1.367%. Looks like a bunch of you are playing on ETH today. Awesome. I love it. Shout outs to CoinGecko for this wealth of information and being our reference point on the show. Top 3 trending coins as of this recording. At number 1, we have not coin. At number 2, we have Cross the Ages. And at number 3, we have Toncoin. Moving on to our next favorite thing. I like these numbers. We've got the top 5 gainers and losers at the time of recording. We're going to start off with the gainers. If you get the experience to have one of your coins on this list, it is a good feeling. It feels nice to be in the winner's circle a little bit. I hope the numbers are higher when you're up here than now. I hope some of you guys are hitting some of those lottery numbers and changing your lives. At number 1, we have at rank 934, Vice, with a gain of 67.1%. At number 2, at rank 382, we have Banana for Scale. Banana for Scale. Okay, you guys are being funny. With a gain of 57.4% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have at rank 638, Game by Virtuals, with a gain of 53% even in the last 24 hours. I like even numbers. It's pretty cool. Either that or when they're all the same number. I like that too. At number 4, with at rank 168, we have Movement, with a gain of 43.2% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, rounding out the top 5 gainers list, we have at rank 553, Matchain, with a gain of 40.7% in the last 24 hours. Now, moving on over to the top 5 losers in the last 24 hours. And this is some sideways, slight pullback, retracement. Not bad at all. Like, if you're going to be on the losers list, today is the day to be on it. These numbers are abysmal. Let's get into it. At number 1, we have at rank 403, TNQ, with a loss of 12.7% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have at rank 832, AI Analysis token with a loss of 12% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have it ranked 834, Siren, with a loss of 10.8% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, at rank 590, we have Baby Boom Token with a loss of 8.5% in the last 24 hours. At number 5, rounding out the top 5 losers list, which really ain't too much losing this week compared to some of the weeks we've been looking at. At rank 694, Gains Network with a loss of 6.6% in the last 24 hours. Moving on, we got to give the backstory on the deal. Oh, geez, hold up a second. Hold on. Why are you not doing, like, my computer is very jumpy today. It's not giving me the new tab. Didn't do what I wanted it to do. So on the portfolio on the day, we are up 7.1%, which doesn't really mean much when you're down 24.5%, which is the overarching theme of the portfolio. Our top performer at this point is no longer Solana. It is Thorwallet Thorwallet DEX token. So we're going to move over to this screen and we're going to bust out the top 10 here and talk about it real quick. At number 1, we have Solana, SOL. At number 2, we have Thorwallet DEX, TGT. At number 3, we have Ethereum, ETH. At number 4, we have Aave, AAVE. At number 5, we have Jupiter Perpetual Liquidity Provider Token, always a mouthful, JLP. At number 6, we have Superverse, SUPER. At number 7, we have Radium, RAY. At number 6, we have Injective. Or at number 8, we have Injective. Geez, jumping numbers. INJ. At number 9, we have Akash Network, AKT. And last but not least, at number 10, rounding out the list, we have Avalanche, AVAX. Now, moving on to the important conversation. Go ahead and make me big. Boop. America's in a Great Depression. And nobody seems to notice. And the reason they don't is what we're going to talk about today. So, for context, I'm going to go ahead and bring this back to the screen. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and make this, I'll make me micro. That's fine, you guys. For those of you that are watching, I'll make me tiny. So that way you can be sure to see it and read it for yourselves. I will read it. I went ahead and asked Google AI, the Great Depression that we all know about, where everybody was just running around and people were in food lines and waiting and nobody could seem to just exist because everything collapsed, couldn't get your money out of the bank, happened from 1929 to the 1932 peak. This period of decline is considered the largest bear market in history for the S&P 500, lasting 2.8 years, according to Sensible Financial Planning. The S&P 500 reached its lowest point in July of 1932, according to the Federal Reserve history. The market didn't recover to its pre-crash levels until 1936. Here's a breakdown. Peak to trough, the S&P 500 dropped significantly from its peak in 1929 to its low in 1932. The magnitude of the loss. The index lost approximately 83% of its value during this period. The duration of the bear market was 2.8 years. Long recovery. The market took several years to recover to its pre-crash levels. Now, I know people will be like, Reckless Trader Nero, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just making these videos and just talking about stuff. And here, because we're not in a Great Depression, the market's going up. I see green numbers. The value of my portfolio is going up. The market's going up. Fair. Okay. Let's talk about it. The only depression we've had is the Great Depression. In our modern times, like post this depressions, we never had another one. And that's what people seem to not understand. So let's talk about why the Great Depression was the Great Depression. The stock market lost 83% of its value. 83%. Let's talk about it. You looked at the stock market, you're down if you were still in and hadn't lost everything, 83%. When you cashed out of the stock market, you got $1. You got your dollars back. But you didn't just get your dollars back, because at the time, those dollars were gold back. So they were technically gold certificates. You could go turn your dollars in and get your gold. Therefore, the S&P 500 was valued in gold. It was valued in a tangible. It wasn't valued in dollars. Like, dollars are the medium, but those dollars are not the dollars that you have. Those dollars were worth an order of magnitude more than the dollars that you and I have today. And that's where it gets interesting. So, what did they do after the Great Depression that was very pivotal to our monetary system? Is anybody out there? I'm listening. Go ahead and drop it down in the comments and timestamp it. I'm sure some of you are going to cheat and go ahead and then go back and tell me you got it right, but I'm going to give you credit for it. It's okay. Because we're the wolf pack here. We're all on the same journey, and I just want to make sure you get the message. They took us off the gold standard. That was when they confiscated all the gold. They made it illegal for you to hold gold, then took it from you. Another problem that Bitcoin solves, by the way, because they can't just take it from you. They took us off the gold standard. And then, miraculously, we've never had another depression. Matter of fact, they recently made it to where we don't have recessions anymore. But what's back in the dollar? Thoughts and prayers? The military force of the United States government? Our bustling economy? You can't go take your dollar and cash it in for anything anymore. As a citizen, you go to the bank, you can't go cash your dollars in for anything that's not another fiat currency. You can trade it into another fiat currency, or you can buy Bitcoin. Which brings me to my next point. We're in a depression right now. And I've got the next screen that I'm going to share with you is the proof. Now, Jack Mahler did a better job of this because he had the exact numbers, and I could not find the exact numbers, but I did find this wonderful chart of Bitcoin, which is the blue line, the S&P 500, which is the red line, or no, the S&P 500 in BTC terms, which is the red line, and the S&P by itself, which is the green line. If you look at this red line, this is the S&P 500 valued in Bitcoin. You see this red line? Just look at it. This is the S&P 500 valued in Bitcoin. Now, Jack Mahler said, well, he only did it within the last 5 years. Now, this is all time going back to 2010 when Bitcoin was created in August of 2010. In August of 2010, the S&P 500 is down 100%. That's actually worse than the Great Depression. And you don't notice because we're playing with funny money. Now, what's the result of that? Because my account's going up. Well, as your account goes up, as your little stockies go up, everything's still getting more expensive. Everybody was complaining about eggs when Trump got voted into office. Apparently, you guys all know how much eggs cost because you eat a lot of eggs. And now they're more expensive. Inflation. You keep saying inflation. And you're right, because they keep printing money. They're debasing the dollars that you use. This is the same reason that when I tell people that I'm not 100% a believer in high yield dividends, it is a useful tool. That's why I say that, because you're still dealing with dollars. I don't want a bunch of dollars unless it's to exchange into Bitcoin as much as possible. And now that we're getting to the point to where, like, some of the accounts are hitting some metrics where they need to be, and we can start next positions, we're turning the Bitcoin spigot back on, because now that we're at a comfort level, I'm like, cool, I want to go ahead and get as much Bitcoin as possible during this range, during this bull run, and moving forward. But your house is smaller. You can't afford your rents, where everybody's complaining about rent. Your house is smaller. Your car is smaller. You can't afford what you used to. But the market, the numbers are going up, and you're valuing everything in dollars versus an actual asset. But Bitcoin's volatile. Be like, yeah, 100%. But over the long haul, everything gets cheaper in Bitcoin. Everything. Your house gets cheaper in Bitcoin. Your car gets cheaper in Bitcoin. Those eggs have gotten cheaper in Bitcoin. Everything is getting cheaper in Bitcoin while simultaneously getting more expensive in dollars. Now, I'm not saying that I believe in spending Bitcoin. We spend dollars. We just don't hold them individually of their own volition for long. And the reason being is it's consistently losing buying power over long periods of time. S&P valued in Bitcoin is worse than the Great Depression, and we're talking about this is the golden era, and it's the roaring 20s. I said this probably 8 years ago, but I definitely did a video breakdown within the past 12 months. And I definitely did a Guns and Butter episode within the past 24 months. And I've been saying this, and I've been saying it, and I've been saying it. And now the chart's on the screen. Like, this isn't me saying it. This is just what things are valued in. It's just what things are valued in. Having it valued in an actual asset. Valuating it in something besides dollars, which get printed and consistently debased, therefore forcing the prices to look like they're going up while you can buy less things. Bitcoin is the hurdle rate. What I've been saying is we are in a financial war. This is war. That red line is war against you, against your generational wealth, against everything. Because what that's saying is everything, the stock market, the game that we're supposed to play to get ahead, you are still trapped in that financial system. You are still using a base layer that is consistently being worth less, which makes the tangibles in that system consistently go up. But now if you have to buy stuff, you're having to eat your portfolio. The thing I like about high yield dividends, and I like about my portfolio, my traditional financial portfolio, is the dividends are kicking off and keeping ahead of inflation. It's still going down in value, but at least I have some money that I can move around. The other thing is it's giving excess income that I can use to buy Bitcoin. Outside of that, like understanding the space that we are in, like all the doom and gloom, the Ray Dalio, oh, the depression's coming. The only reason they're still saying that it's coming versus it is here is because they too are looking at everything in dollars as though these dollars that we have and use every day. You swipe your card, just don't even notice it. Next thing you know, you got a balance of $3,000. You've just been buying food and living life and getting groceries once a week, paying utilities. Ray Dalio is still looking at the old system. He's still in the matrix. So he's going, oh, it's coming. It's here. It's here, Mr. Dalio. It's here, Peter Schiff. It's here, Robert Kiyosaki. It is here. This is it. The S&P 500 is down 100% if you value it in something. That's something, not dollars, not the system that is then also being manipulated to make us think that everything is fine. Everything isn't fine. It's not fine. We are literally the living embodiment of the meme of the dog that's sitting at the table where the whole room's on fire and he's like, this is fine. That is us. That's America. That's people who believe in these portfolios. Oh, I'm going to save up. You got to save up $2.5 million to go ahead and retire. You got to be a decamillionaire to retire. Shout out to the bag chasers. Anton always tells us you ain't got no money if you ain't a decamillionaire. Well, guess what? If you got a $10 million, you ain't got no money either. Let's talk about it. Charts right here. Those of us who have been on the path of de-dollarization and are working out these strategies. Oh, you can't do this. You're navigating on this. Everyone who's in the dollar system is at play here. You're constantly treading water and it's constantly getting deeper at varying clips of speed. Go back to COVID. The water level went up quickly. Now we're back at 3%. Water level's going up slow, but we've already gone up 50%. They keep saying that we're up 10, 15. Some people will give it 20. We're up 50% on stuff. Y'all are still complaining about eggs you can't afford to eat and you're not getting raises. This is it on the screen. If you didn't know, now you know. If you're in stocks, if you're not beating the rate of return for Bitcoin, which you can look up and see what the average rate of return is. Is it volatile? Absolutely. But it's something that's being accepted as an asset by countries, BlackRock, states, pension funds, unless you somehow miraculously are smarter than all of them. By all means, please go ahead. Publicly traded companies, we've got 20. We just had our 21st more or less Bitcoin treasury announcement. This isn't going away. This chart is showing you exactly what's happened. And this is from 2010. We crossed the threshold in where's that at? In 2013 was when the S&P 500 started going negative against Bitcoin. In 2013. Bitcoin flipped the S&P 500. It's been going down ever since at varying clips. This is just math. I'm not beholden to Bitcoin, but I don't know if you can show me an inverted chart where something's going up against Bitcoin. Anything. Which is why I say that Bitcoin, all roads lead to Rome. It's all about Bitcoin. It's all about getting into something as a core savings vehicle that stuff is getting cheaper in. Having dollars, bonds, stuff isn't getting cheaper in bonds. The stock positions that I'm accruing and amassing for my personal long-term holdings, what do I label that? Bitcoin I'm willing to sell. Because those things are going to go up at such an exorbitant rate. And if I need to sell something off to buy something, I have that. But I also have my high yield dividend portfolio, which is just kicking off additional money. It's going, because as hard as I'm working right now, what's the point? What is the point? I don't even see the point in it. Looking at this chart, what is the actual reason? What am I need something to do. I understand how I work and I understand how my brain's wired. I do need something to do, but having to slave away to keep these lights on, to be able to record this video, to have this phone, to have this internet, that's just all of it's constantly getting more expensive. What's the point? Why play that game? Why go be out in the sun? Why go be tired? Why have to show up and listen to somebody and be on somebody else's schedule at their behest for them to pay me? Why do that? because the physical energy that I'm exerting is going into dollars. And until I can figure out how to more efficiently get into Bitcoin, I'm like, what is the point of that? Like, my priority is getting this income portfolio where it needs to be. And the reason being is because that way I'm not at least I'm not destroying my body to continually be treading that water. Like, now I got like a floaty on. I can just float out there in the ocean. They raise the level. Guess what? I got my floaties on. My high yield dividend portfolio is my floaty. Now, my Bitcoin holding is a whole battle cruiser. I ain't worried about nothing. I can be out in the ocean. I can take the big waves. Just me and this big old ship out here with the waves, just hanging out. My long-term holdings, it's like a yacht. You know, you can tip a yacht over. It's way harder to tip over a battleship. Battleship can take bigger waves. But I got all three. I got my floaties, my high yield dividends. I got my yacht, which is going to be my long-term holding portfolio. And then I got my battleship, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Together make a battleship. It's like two things. And the more I am dialed in, because it's like what happens when you take the orange pill. Like, you start looking at stuff like this and going, man, why do I even go to work? Like, why do I do that? Like, it just sounds terrible. Like, I don't want to get up and go in there tomorrow. It's like, okay, like, I need my money, bro. Like, there's no point in slaving away to have somebody else take their imaginary money and live the life you want to live. It's terrible. And you get to watch it. Man, come on now. But the proof's in the pudding. These are the numbers. I mean, there's no way you're going to rework this to make it say anything different, because math is math. Like, we're in a depression. We are in the greatest of depression, because it's actually worse, because it's not recovering. It's not recovering. This red line is going nowhere closer to this blue line at all. It's not turning around. And this has been since 2013. 12 years of just straight nuclear down. And people wonder why it seems like the American dream is out. The American dream died in 2013, apparently. We're just now getting the last rattles of the system's broken. Like, now the system broke. Like, no, the system broke in 2013. And since we look at dollars and you can see numbers in your account go up, it makes you feel better, because you're in this bubble. And yeah, we can go travel. We can go to other countries where our dollar stretches further. But the reality of it is, that just means that they have a worse fiat currency than this. Their stock market looks worse than this. Because not all of these games are games that go to zero. And as much as everybody's like, oh, happy, joy, we're all in this together with Bitcoin. No. Wolfpack, we're in this together. Every Bitcoin you buy is a Bitcoin that I can't buy. Every Bitcoin I buy is a Bitcoin that you can't buy. So even though we're together, it's like a pack of wolves. We fighting over the meat right now. This is zero sum. This wealth transfers are zero sum. There's only so many houses. There's only so many resources. There's only so many of everything. When you have a successful trade at a stock, somebody was on the other side of that lost. There are always going to be losers. There's no game that we play in this existence where everyone gets to win. You can make little meta games where you can win, but like on the numbers that everybody tracks, everybody ain't going to be in great shape. Some of y'all are going to make some different decisions than what I make, and you're just going to be fat. That's just what it is. You're going to be dysgenic. You're not going to have good bodies. You're not going to take care of yourselves. There are some people who have better skin than me. They got a better skin routine. They do better at skincare. I work in an environment. I'm a man. My hands are a little bit rough. It's what it is. There are men out there that got wonderfully soft hands. They've wanted skincare for their hands. Their hands are just like little baby hands. Just touch on you like a little baby. They've won at that. It's a meta game. The stuff we all measure, your weight, your body fat percentage, your account, your net worth, your amount of money that you have access to, your resources, those are zero-sum games. And you can choose not to play, but you're still on the board is the issue. Because then you're complaining about how much eggs cost. Because you don't want to pay attention to this. You don't want to heed the warnings. You don't want to have the conversation and tap in. Shout out to my Wolfpack members that tap in, though. Like, we talk about money all the time behind the scenes. I had part of this conversation before I recorded this with a homie who tapped in, called. But you don't want to listen to anybody. Oh, well, Anton's super rich. Like, yeah, he just found out about Bitcoin. He's just now been in the need of Bitcoin. I've been here since 2013. Like, what are we talking about here? Everybody's on the boomer plan. That ship is so sunk. Look at the chart. Look at the numbers. There's no math to refute this. Because math is math. Like, this isn't hard. It's like, oh, I just don't see how you believe in Bitcoin. Well, since 2013, the stock market valuation of the cumulative market, which is what you guys all talk about, I'm going to diversify by the S&P 500. It's down 100% when valued in an actual asset. You're playing with pretend money, and you can't afford anything, and you're complaining about egg prices. What do we do with that? What do we do with that? Now, what we're doing over here with the Wolfpack is we're putting things in place to make it so that we can get on the right side of this trade. Me personally, I'm on the right side of this trade already. I've been in Bitcoin. It's great. I didn't have to buy it at $100,000. Now, if you deck a millionaire, guess what? You can still get yourself a few. Good for you. Awesome. Still is what it is. Like, you ain't put in your 10,000 hours. I have. Like, it is what it is. Like, I was here first. And I'm also metrically poor. So here we go. Like, you now you in the same ranks with a poor person. Congratulations. Because you're here late. Because you knew better. Like, now it's the dinosaurs that are going to stand under the comet and the ones that are going to move away from where the blast area is so that they can survive. That's what you're seeing now. That's why Anton Daniels is now talking the way he's talking about Bitcoin. That's why Wall Street Trapper is now talking the way he's talking about Bitcoin. That's why these people are talking this way, because this is an inevitability. This is math. I'm not a great options trader. Shout out to Wall Street Trapper and shout out to the trappers also. So I'm gonna be back as soon as I get the money for it. But like, that is not as much of a priority as getting this cash flow going so that I can get back on my Bitcoin buying spree. It just isn't. But I'm going to have some things in place, and I'm taking some of the stuff that I learned for when I was in Trappers Anonymous, because I was a member of Trappers Anonymous, because I don't know how to trade options. Like, that's his lane. You go to somebody else's lane where they're right. It just makes me mad when people who have a lane get out of their lane and talk in my lane and then don't want to actually take up the bets. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to little brother me because I'm a brokey. But that net worth's going up every year, though. We've been tracking this shit. Oh, dang. Sorry about that. But like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna talk my shit. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I've already started ranting. It's late, and I'm a little bit delirious. Call me delirious, but it's okay. All parties involved are getting tagged. So, but as I'm a huge advocate, but it's like when he talks about Bitcoin, he doesn't understand it because that's not his focus. His focus, he's helping his community in the way that he knows how in his lane. I got this. And while I don't have as large of a community, I'm not wrong. I'm putting the receipts up, and I'm literally where Trapper was when he started, before he got to his $1 million trade. Now, when we get to $1 million Bitcoin, it's like, oh, dang, Reckless Ray Dinero retired before he was actually a millionaire. Oh, he became a millionaire after he was work optional retired. Oh, once he started steamrolling, he put XYZ in place, and like, this is what happened. I'm tracking the journey. Exactly where he was when he first started recording. It just is what it is. But like, when I talk about this, I do get in passion because The people who were saying negative things about Bitcoin since 2013, the arena that they all tell us to go to. Oh, put all your money in your 401k. Why? The S&P 500 is down 100% against Bitcoin. Also, you now are a millionaire and you can't access your 401k, so you actually can't even retire if you want to. You got to wait till you're 60 anyway. So you just get to work for forever. What's the point of that? And you're in an hyperinflated matrix where you're stuck with those stocks that are tracking these indices that are down 100% against Bitcoin. We got to wake up. And when I say we, I'm talking to the Wolfpack, whoever's tapped into this video, whoever ends up watching this. We have to wake up. You have to understand. You have to look at this inverted chart. This would make me sick if I had all my money in the stock market. It's disgusting. Since 2013, like you ain't been doing nothing. Nothing. And Bitcoin started at zero. Like from 2010 to 2013. That's 3 years. Flipped the S&P 500. Been going down against it since. Why is no one having this conversation? Why are the doom and gloomers telling us that something is coming that's actively here and worse than what it was during the Great Depression? Is it because we're all fat and eating? Is that it? Is math no longer math? So we're going to just keep playing pretend, and you're not going to take any precautionary steps. You're not going to get any Bitcoin. You're not going to secure your future at all. You're just going to try and hopefully the house of cards doesn't collapse while I'm still alive. Is that the game y'all are playing? Because apparently we're supposed to be living for a long time now. And some of us, like if we just keep living long enough, we'll live long enough to where we'll just live indefinitely because technology is getting to that point. That starts making these numbers a whole lot worse because you can go on all the vacations and YOLO now, but you still going to be around. Something to think on. I don't know. I'm a call it there, but it's definitely something that we should be taking into account. And this is the reason that like I'm fine on missing out on some things. Now there's certain things that are important, like when it comes to like family and stuff like that. Like I got my core group of people. I don't have friends. I got family. Making time for them, holding space for them matters. Outside of that, the rest of this stuff ain't even that important. Like I got to go out just so I can see some people, touch some grass every once in a while. But we're trimming that back because this is here. We are in it. And every day it just reinforces itself. It gets more frustrating. It gets more nerve-wracking. And then you just talk to people that are just fine. Like they're just fine. They're like, it's fine. It's the financial world's on fire. It's fine. Everything's on fire. It's fine. I'm a go on vacation to Costa Rica with all the money that I saved up this year. That's all the extra money outside of the 401k. I ain't investing nothing. I ain't gonna have the dividends pay for the trip. Nope. I gotta pay for it with my own money. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna go pay for it. And it's just wild. Like you're seeing these people, and like as this gets worse. Once it starts affecting them, once they can't go on the vacation, then they're going to be upset. Oh, I didn't know. And that it's people that have access to me that didn't want to tap in, and they're going to want to tap in when it's too late. And I'm like, well, no, you're stuck in that class now. Like now you're trapped, and I can't fix it for you. I'm not going to fix it for you. Like it's a zero-sum game. Like you lost because of decisions. This all boils down to decisions. Now, I hate to be the doom and gloom guy because I think on the other side of it, once the wealth transfer is on the other side, we're going to have some people that are in positions of power, hopefully, that got some different ideals that come from this space. Hopefully. But it could be more of the same with you in a worse position than you are now. Like we don't know. We don't know. But I think the future is bright for those of us that get it. I think the future is going to be bright for those of us that are in the wolf pack, those that are having the conversations, those that are asking the questions. The next 10 years are going to be the most important 10 years of most of our existences. And I'm going to pull this back to the screen. This is why. This is why. This is going to be, I mean, it don't get worse than 100%. That's all the way down. This is why. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and tap out. Hit me up in the comments. Like, I want to have the conversation. I do want to have the conversation. But let's have at it, dude. Like, we gotta start talking. We gotta start letting people. I've done everything I can. This is me literally metaphorically screaming into the ether from the rooftop. Literally. It's the best I can do is be available to those that are around me and then make these videos for the ether. And for those of you that get it, I hope you get it. And for those of you that don't get it, have fun staying poor. Till next week, this has been another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. It's your boy, Reckless Rated Narrow. And don't forget to hit that like if you haven't. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe if you've been here more than 2 times. Join the Wolf Pack because we're not trying to get rich over here by ourselves. There's plenty of room. And last but not least, hit that bell notification and turn all notifications on. And last but not least, for the Wolfpack members, don't forget to share this video. This one was an impactful one. I'm hoping, I don't hope that you're motivated, but I hope this hits for somebody. Like somebody finally gets it, because this isn't going to change. The S&P is not going to miraculously turn around and go up umpteen bazillion % and beat Bitcoin. It's just not happening. It's not. So we got to make some decisions, and we need to make them strategically and moving forward with all of the other breakdowns that I do and all the other videos. This is going to be a repeated key term and a key theme that we're going to be revisiting, because this is the reality that we're in. And for those of us who know to not say anything, I don't have a big following, but Jack Mahler does, and he's talking about it. Why is he the only one who's really talking about it? Everybody else wants to get you hype on altcoins. Why? What's going on here? You got 2 people that are telling you what's going on. Actually 3. Micro Sailor doesn't have a show, but like he's basically telling people what's going on. You got a handful of people that are telling you what's going on. Where you guys are getting your information from, while I think it should be diversified, the people who are not telling you about this and showing you the ugly numbers and telling you the truth, those people might not have your best intentions in mind. I'm just saying, a lot of them are probably selling you stuff. I'm just saying. So hopefully you guys do something great with this information. Happy hump day. Little bit of a Debbie Downer episode, but go outside, touch some grass. You'll be all right. You just got to make the adjustments. Till next week, people. It's been another good one. And I'm out. Peace.
Money on my mind. Yeah. Focus, got no time for games. Nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.